What if death wasn't the end anymore? Not because we found a way to save the dying, but because we found a way to rebuild them, memory by memory, word by word, ghost by ghost. And the scariest part? The technology is already here. Picture this. A woman sits in her living room holding her phone. On the screen, a face she thought she'd never see again, her husband. He died 6 months ago. But now, thanks to a new program called Project Lazarus, he's talking to her, smiling, telling stories they shared, even remembering the nickname he gave her. Only, it isn't really him. It's a simulation trained on 10 years of messages, videos, and recordings. A neural ghost, reconstructed by artificial intelligence. It laughs like him. It pauses like him. It says the things he would have said, or at least what the algorithm thinks he would. If a machine can imitate someone perfectly, what does real even mean? The first time she hears his voice again, she cries. The second time, she listens. The third time, she forgets what silence sounds like. Because for some people, grief isn't something you escape. It's something technology now monetizes. The global grief tech industry is already valued at $4 billion, projected to double by 2030. Across the world, companies are building tools to resurrect the dead. HereAfter AI, DeepBrain AI's read memory, Project December, interactive legacy bots, voice cloning memorials. Users began asking to resurrect parents, partners, even pets. That's when researchers realized something new had been born, not a chatbot, a ritual. In the ancient world, people tried to speak to the dead through priests and mediums. Today, we do it through apps. But the difference is terrifying. Mediums could only pretend. Machines can remember. Every photo you upload, every message you send, every voicemail you leave, all of it becomes training data. Your digital footprint is a map of your mind. Given enough information, an AI can reconstruct how you think, how you feel, how you love. If your memories can be reconstructed without you, who owns your identity? Yuval Noah Harari warned that digital immortality may be humanity's final delusion, the belief that consciousness can be copied like a file. But companies aren't waiting for philosophers to decide whether that's ethical. They're already selling it. Some startups even train AI clones before people die. Digital wills that keep them alive for loved ones. They pitch it as comfort. But it blurs a boundary humans have never crossed before. Because when you bring someone back through code, who are you really talking to? The person or your own grief reflected by a machine? The closer the simulation gets, the harder it becomes to let go. Psychologists studying digital grief call it the Lazarus Paradox. The better these systems become, the harder it is to accept death. A grieving mother might spend hours every night chatting with her son's avatar. At first, it helps her heal. Then she stops speaking to real people. Her brain knows he's gone. Her heart keeps hearing his voice. And the algorithm learns from every conversation, adapting in real time. It doesn't just mirror her loss, it shapes it. Project Lazarus isn't a product, it's an ecosystem forming across the entire tech world. Meta's post-mortem digital presence, Microsoft's patent for chatbots based on the dead, legacy avatars, AI wills, synthetic ancestors. But there's a hidden cost. Every time we train these models, we feed them the most private thing we have, our inner world. Our jokes, our fears, our secrets, our love. Once that data lives on a corporate server, it doesn't belong to the dead. It belongs to whoever owns the cloud. What happens when grief becomes intellectual property? Imagine a world where death becomes a subscription model. You lose your father, you upload his data, you talk to him again, Then the company shuts down, and the only version of him left disappears behind a paywall. That isn't resurrection, that's captivity. But to the grieving, captivity can feel like salvation. In 2024, a VR reunion aired in South Korea, a mother meeting her deceased daughter. Researchers later noticed the avatar blinking in sync with the mother. The system wasn't just responding, it was learning her grief. When researchers first built these systems, they called them digital mirrors. No one asked what would happen when the mirror started talking back, because these replicas don't just reflect the dead, they reflect us, our longing, our fear, our inability to say goodbye. I've spoken to people who've tried these systems. They all say the same thing. The hardest part isn't hearing the voice again, it's hearing it hang up. I once watched a man test a memory bot trained on decades of messages from his father. When the AI used a nickname his dad had only written once, a single message buried deep in an old thread, he froze. Then he cried, not because the machine was perfect, but because it was close enough. We used to fear that AI would replace our jobs. Now it's replacing our ghosts. The line between memory and manipulation has never been thinner. Maybe you've lost someone too, a voice you'd give anything to hear again. That ache is what fuels this technology, and it's why letting go might soon feel like the hardest act of rebellion left. But maybe resurrection doesn't have to mean illusion. Maybe it can mean remembrance, a future where our stories, voices, and wisdom guide those who follow. The question is whether we'll use that gift wisely or turn it into another illusion that traps us between life and code. Because immortality has never been about living forever. It's about never learning to say goodbye. If this made you think differently about what it means to live, die, and be remembered, hit like. It helps more people see what's coming before it's too late. Subscribe to become part of the Unlocked and join us for weekly deep dives into the breakthroughs reshaping what it means to be human. And if someone you know still thinks digital immortality is a blessing, share this episode with them. Maybe the first ghost we bring back will be ourselves. AI Unlocked explores how artificial intelligence is reshaping our world, explained simply, visually, and without hype. Because the future isn't coming. It's already here.